Hello everyone, so today I wanted to do a video about old like cult and YouTube and just general beauty favorites that still hold up, are still excellent products, still deserve the hype, what have you. So I picked out a bunch of products I feel like kind of fit this description. Products that I still use, that I still have in my collection and really enjoy and think they're very comparable to, you know, the hit products today. Maybe some of them are still like, you know, hit products today, but whatever. I just wanted to kind of highlight these old gems. I feel like, you know, we move through beauty trends so quickly that it's worth highlighting, you know, these oldies that a lot of us probably have in our collection and, you know, they still hold up, rather than, you know, promoting endless needing the new things. So let's just go through it. I'm gonna just kind of chat. So the first product I have is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. So this is a little mini. I actually have another mini ready to go. This lasts forever, and I actually prefer this like packaging better than the little tub. It just feels a little more sanitary. But this is a great product. I still reach for this all the time. It's a very nourishing and moisturizing base, and it's kind of like a thicker one, but it blends in with really just no pilling. Like, I find the formula to be very unique. Like, I think there's just so many makeup products nowadays that are supposed to be moisturizing, are these base products, but they pill, or they just kind of upset the foundation, or maybe they break you out. Like, there's just too much going on, and I feel like this is such a solid base product because it's so simple. It's just moisturizing. It just gives that like bouncy base for your makeup, and I feel like whenever I'm, you know, have drier skin or anything, I'm immediately reaching for this to just wear under foundation because it only makes it look better. So this stands out. I think it's amazing. It really prevents me from like wanting any other moisturizing primer because I don't know, I just feel like nothing compares to this. So holds up, it's amazing, huge fan. Next product is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. So this I didn't buy, I feel like, during its heyday. I bought it on the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale, or whatever it used to be, for 50% off. And honestly, I think that was like the perfect time to buy it because otherwise it can be a bit expensive. But I really enjoy this foundation. I always turn to this foundation for events, anytime where I really want my makeup to last and I want like a full coverage look. I definitely don't wear it on a daily basis because I don't wear like makeup like this anymore on a daily basis, just out of preference. But I mean, it is just a phenomenal foundation, and despite being like pretty full coverage, it is very light on the skin and it really doesn't look heavy. It just blends in very nicely and, you know, gives the coverage with a minimal amount of appearance of foundation. So I'm a huge fan of this. Obviously, like, the packaging on this is a little old school. I mean, a pump would be nice, but it's fine. And I just think this is an amazing foundation. So it holds up. I really, because of how good this is, I really don't need any other like full coverage or more mattifying foundations. Like, this is sufficient. So that's how much it holds up. Like, I really am always like, I can't buy anything else because this is just good enough. It's great. Next product is the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. This is a classic. I mean, I think nowadays, like, so many powders just try and do like a lot. It's either like they're supposed to be really light, maybe they're glowy, maybe they're supposed to feel like water, maybe they're cooling. I don't know, like, there's just a lot of different like effects setting powder can have nowadays. And honestly, I'm always just going back to this, especially when I actually am using setting powder to have makeup last like, this is the one I go for. It lasts forever. This is the mini version, and I've had this for years, which is kind of, you know, maybe a little gross, but again, it just works, and it sets your makeup, and you know, it doesn't leave a white cast, it doesn't make you look super powdery. It's just solid. So again, it's kind of where I'm always like, you know, different powders are recommended, and I'm like, oh, like maybe this one is like the best new thing, and then I think about it, I'm like, I actually have an amazing product in my collection that does exactly what I need it to do. Like, no complaints at all. So that's my thought on that. Yeah. Next, let's do some cheek products. So this is a funny little like packaging I have for it, but I do believe the Benefit Hoola bronzers still hold up. So this is a cheek palette with a bunch of blushes and stuff, and I don't honestly enjoy all of the blushes, I really don't use them, but the bronzers, Hoola Light and Hoola, are just still excellent products. I mean, it's so funny because I always am like shifting to try a new one, and then I come back to these and I'm like, you know what, these are actually excellent. I also like really like the Hoola Light. You can see Hoola Light right there. It just is a really good shade for warming up pale skin tones. So honestly, like these really still stand out in my collection, and I'm often like reaching for them to be my bronzer for the day, and regular Hoola be a bit of a contour. It's funny, I used Hoola like every single day from middle school to high school as a contour, and contour being like, you know, I just put like a strip of bronze on my cheeks, so didn't look the best, but it's still like such a classic for me. And even swatching it there, like that's a pretty old palette, and it's creamy, it's, you know, they blend out nicely, and they have a good payoff that isn't super stark and unnatural looking. Like, I just think it's a great product. So this is definitely one that sticks out in my collection. I've really been enjoying kind of like dipping back into it, and I would highly consider buying Hoola Light on its own if that's even still for sale. Somehow knowing Benefit it won't be, but I just think it's great. The other blushes are just kind of meh. Like, I think I use Rockateur the most because it's kind of a bit of a glowy blush, but the other blushes in here I find to be a bit powdery. I don't know like what you can even see, but I think Rockateur is really the only one I enjoy because it has that kind of like glowy finish. So anywho, next we have the Milani Baked Blush in Luminosa. This is like the OG classic, and this really holds up. Like, it is a beautiful blush. It's an amazing glowy like peach color, and again, it's glowy, but it doesn't have that like chunky glitter. That is so impressive, especially looking back at this and seeing how this was such a great blush then. And the color is beautiful, it looks amazing in the summer, it just lights up your face, and I still use this all the time, even though it's such a dated product. Like, dated in the sense, like, this was it in like 2014. Like, this is like one of the first products that went viral on YouTube. So it's you know, it's an old product, but it really is one of the best. And I mean, it did the glowy blush first. It did the glowy blush first, and honestly, in one of the best ways. So really impressed by it. Yeah. Next product this is probably like the most recent product I've put in this roundup, but the Flower Beauty Blush Bombs. These to me just feel like a YouTube classic a couple years ago, and I still love them and use them, and I don't see them talked about as much anymore. So I just picked out two. I actually own, I think, every color in these, which is fun. I just love these, especially for every day. They blend out pretty sheer and just give a gorgeous wash of color. You know, bubbly is such a good alternative for those who wanted that like super light pink shade. And I love mixing colors and just like doing something fun with them. I feel like it looks like it blended out into almost nothing, but it's just a very sheer product. It looks really nice on the face, and I love it. I think it's a lot of fun to use. I love like the way liquid blushes give you a lot of versatility in what you can do with them and how you can apply them, and I just think these are great products, and they still really hold up. So if you want just like a natural flush in these colors, I think the Flower Beauty blush bombs are really the best. So many other liquid blushes are just way too pigmented. You know, I think, you know, you can always make them work, but for people who are just, you know, wearing makeup to wear makeup and aren't, you know, trying to have like be in crazy trends and spend a lot of time blending or wear a full face, I think products like these are a lot more realistic and usable for them. So yeah. Next product, this is another OG YouTube favorite. I feel like Kathleen Lights really recommended this. This is the Physicians Formula Warm Nude. I believe this is like the shimmer pyramid, something like that. This is an amazing highlight, so just look at that. I think at the time, like, very few drugstore products had a highlight like this that was so glistening. Like, it really just does look like glow on the skin. It doesn't look like shimmer. It's such a high quality highlight, and I love the different colors in here. You can stick towards the lighter side, which I often do for highlights, but you can also like do some really gorgeous like glowy looks using these glittery shades. Like, it does offer a lot of versatility, so I have a lot of fun with it, and I've used it for eye looks, I've used it for highlighters so often. I just think it's like one of the most beautiful highlighters in my collection, and it's also really good if you have fair skin. So I really like, I don't think many drugstore products or brands have really put out anything that compares to this, of like a amazing like natural highlight. Like, I think there are some like show-stopping like metallic strips, but for like a glistening highlight that you can see here, like, I really don't think anything compares. So this is an OG product that really holds up. So I don't know, just wanted to highlight that. I feel like you know, it was hardly talked about in the first place, and now it definitely isn't. So okay, quick, this is such a YouTube classic, but Anastasia brow products to me still hold up, still are the best brow products, especially the pencils. I think nothing compares to these. You can get them for such a good price. I actually just finished up my Brow Wiz, so this is just the brow definer, but you can get them for drugstore prices, frankly, and they have so many sales and kits, and the colors are great. There's cool tone colors. I'm not a huge fan of the brand owner. I don't know if they're still associated with it, but these products just hold up. I really don't feel the need to like look for more, and especially with the brow gel, which I have tried to find more brow gel products, and this one still is probably the best I've tried that has hold and is the least sort of like, I don't know, like flaky. Sounds gross, but these are just, they hold up, they're good. I don't know, I don't ever really feel the need to try different brow like pencils, especially because I'm like, I already have a thin, good color, good product. I don't know. Then we'll go really classic. These are MAC eyeshadows. I have this in like a broken little quad, but I've had this for ages. I mean, there's some hard pan on this, but MAC shadows to me are very unique nowadays because I just don't think many brands have the neutrals, have the natural finishes that MAC does. I mean, I think they've really focused on like natural looking eyeshadows, and so many products just want to have like insane pigment, are super powdery, and just, I don't know, I think they kind of sacrifice like the things that people actually want from shadows. These are horrible swatches, but I just think MAC shadows are great, especially for like basics. I don't think you're gonna get like the most metallic, the most pigmented products from them, but I also don't think that that type of eyeshadow looks great. Like, that isn't my preference, and I think for natural looks and actually like enhancing the eyes, I don't think that is the best for it. So I love these MAC shadows. I always turn to them. I have a bunch more in single format, and I just think their basics hold up. Like Soft Brown holds up, Shroom. These are Shroom, Wedge, Woodwinked, and Satin Taupe. Obviously Satin Taupe is busted, but I think these just hold up, and I'm always reaching for them. There's a reason I keep this palette. I think it's great. So I think these hold up absolutely and are worth checking out still. Last product as well is another MAC product. I think MAC lipsticks are like the OG. I remember being like so young and seeing like people with the limited edition MAC lipsticks and just being so like obsessed with how like chic they looked and, you know, professional and just expensive. Like this design is classic. And I think the lipsticks are so great. Again, they just have this perfect colors, the best colors. I always want to reach for them. And in terms of a formula that I think is actually really on trend, despite coming out years ago, is the Luster formula. So this is in the shade Sea Sheer. This is also like a really old lipstick, but I don't know, it still works. But it's just like a sheer formula, and it's not patchy. The color's really beautiful. It just adds like you know, a nice wash of color without being super pigmented. And especially for me who has like very lined lips, often my lips are quite dry and I like pick at them a lot, like this sort of formula really is the best. So I don't know, the Luster formula really holds up to me, and I always want to check out new ones. So yeah, anyways, these are some old products that I feel like still hold up. I think it's always fun like looking through this and kind of going down memory lane of like, wow, remember when like this blush was like the only blush people recommended from the drugstore. Like it is so, I remember it used to be like difficult to put together a full face of good drugstore makeup, and when people found a product that worked, like the butter bronzer, this product, like every single person used it. So it's just fun looking back and kind of realizing how good these products still are. There's a reason they were popular in the first place. And yeah, I still love using them. I think there's just a lot in my collection, and I definitely do not need to keep buying like the newfangled things. Even with some of these trends that are trending now, like for example with the sheer lipstick, like I have that in a MAC lipstick that I've had for like 6 years. So yeah, it just goes to show you, you know, trend cycle. You probably have something in your collection that is exactly what you think you want. So yeah, I hope this was kind of fun going down memory lane. Maybe you can pull these out of your collection or buy them yourself. I really do. Like I would repurchase all of these, I think. So they're just great products. But yeah, that's all for today's video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.